I think we are live. So, hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Welcome to the Blockchain Game Alliance X Lamina1 Creator the Grants Demo Day. So, we're super excited to have everyone here today. So, we are co-hosted by Yasmina, of course, our female co-president from the Blockchain Game Alliance. So, hello, Yasmina. How are you?
Hi everyone. I hope you're doing. Everybody is doing well. I think I'm hearing an echo. Is it just myself? Right?
Well, I think there's a bit of a feedback, if I'm not mistaken.
No worries. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have such an amazing jury coming together to help us to support this games around. So you're going to spend the next hour and a half going through amazing project today. We will be pitching for a big grant from Lamina1. And we hope that you're going to enjoy the next 19 minutes. I'm sure that the jury will come up with excellent feedbacks, but also tips on how to move projects. So stay tuned because it is golden nuggets that they're going to be sharing today. Over to you, Cliff.
Gotcha. And of course, finalists today from the Lamina1 official and of course Blockchain Game Alliance creators go live today. They're going to be pitching for a chance to win up to 250,000 LL1 early access to the Lamina1 Spaces platform, a BGA membership, and of course strategic support from both ecosystems. We've got a bunch of projects here today, so congratulations to all the finalists who have made it here. And just a quick shout out to them. We have Laser Metrics from by Breach VR. We have Market Melee, The Last Monarchy, Roaster Odyssey by Sogar Games, Kudo Games, and of course, that last but not the least, we have Olderfall. With that being said, let me just share my screen here real quick so that. Mhm. Right. So we have the projects here today. We have Laser Metrics. First up, we're going to be Laser Metrics and Market Melee, Last Monarchy, followed by Solar Games, Kudo, and Olderfall. We also have our amazing jury panel for the grant program. We have Vladan Falsix from Cosmics AI. We have, of course, how could we forget our female co-president Yasmina, and from the Blockchain Game Alliance, we have Timothy Tello from Ethics, Sebastian Borge from the Sandbox, and of course, the president of the Blockchain Game Alliance. We have Sam Barbary from Sequence, Chris Avignon from Play to Earn, Cesar, and of course, Geraldine from Lamina1. So let me just run through the quick guidelines here so everybody would be able to understand how the demo day would actually work. It's going to be a 5-minute pitch per single project. So you'll have 5 minutes max for to pitch your project basically. And the panel ratings is going to be rated after each pitch. So each and every one of the jury is going to go through the ratings or the scoreboard. Then they're going to rate your pitch. And finally, at the end of the demo day, we're going to reveal a winner once we have decided who won the Lamina1 Creator Grants program. Let me know if you have any specific questions, but just for transparency here, I'll be sharing the pitch decks so everyone can view and see. I'll be sharing it in the private chat. Here are the pitch decks. And of course, Yasmina, should we also share the scoreboard inside the private chat?
Yes, of course. I think that we have already shared it. Thank you so much. So you have the score card that every jury will be using live, which means that we all have the appreciation, and then we will be sharing also feedback or any comment that the jury would like to give to the project members.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds great. First up on our list, we have laser metrics. Do we have laser metrics here today? If not, we're gonna have to move on to market melee. Do we have a team from laser metrics? Okay, we don't. So we're gonna have to move on. The show must go on, unfortunately. Market melee, you're up next. Let me know if you're ready, so you
I'm
can start
ready.
your.
Perfect. Let me just share my screen really quickly. Can everyone see my pitch deck?
Yes.
Perfect. Then I'll start. So hello, everybody. My name is Oren, and I'm the CEO and founder of Market Melee, the Uno meets crypto physical card game. So a little bit about me. I graduated from NYU Stern School of Business. When I graduated, I went on Dr. Phil's national television show as a cyborg from the future with 250,000 TikTok followers, 50,000 YouTube subs, and 16,000 Instagram followers. I didn't just want to be a meme. I wanted to build meaningful products in Web3, and that's what led to Market Melee today. You have Teresa Nadio, our CDO, who created the actual game, and Artem Zaitev, our CTO. So what's the problem? A majority of people lack understanding of cryptocurrency and financial markets. Why? Because traditional education systems fail to provide practical financial literacy, resulting in an engagement deficit, because existing educational tools are often dry and fail to engage younger generations, which leads to an adoption barrier for Web3 tools and Web3 games. So what's the solution? We believe the solution is Market Melee. And Market Melee is a turn-based physical card game that simulates the challenges of cryptocurrency trading. Each turn, players buy, sell, or hold cryptocurrencies and stable coins, and the goal is to have the most amount of cryptocurrency cards at the end of the game. So how does it work? Each player starts with $250 in stable coins, and they draw 3 random crypto cards. For each turn, players first buy, sell, or hold, and then after they've chosen to buy, sell, or hold, players draw an action card that triggers market twists, price drops, boost, or player sabotage. Players compete to have the most amount of cryptocurrency cards, and stable coins do not count towards your final balance. So here's the 3 decks. Here you can see the stablecoin deck, which is face up, the crypto deck, which is face down, and then the action event cards, which affect the value of your cryptocurrencies and stablecoins, which are also face down. As I said before, each turn is broken into 2 decisions. You buy, sell, or hold, and then after you buy, sell, or hold, you draw an action or event card that affects the value of your crypto and your stablecoins. The objective is to maximize your portfolio through buying and selling and to have the most crypto assets. The game is designed for 2 to 4 players, and the game can span between 8 to 10 rounds. The result, the person with the most amount of cryptocurrency cards wins. Stablecoins, again, do not count. In terms of the market opportunity, the board game market is valued at $13.4 billion, growing at 13% per year. Crypto education is a $500 million market, expanding with increasing crypto adoption. Since our game is a physical game, but could also merge with the digital, we can tap into a $100 billion gaming industry. And we're focusing on an untapped niche because no existing game effectively merges crypto market engagement with education for a broad audience. So here's a competitive comparison. Our game is 165 cards. We don't have any game pieces. We have a high educational component, high strategic depth, and we have optional blockchain integration. So why does Market Melee stand out? We're 165 cards without the need for additional pieces. We're patent pending in the United States. We combine entertainment, education, and financial relevance, and we appeal to parents, educators, gamers, and crypto-curious audiences alike. In terms of our go-to-market strategy, we're currently in phase 1. We've distributed 100 decks to Web3 influencers, gaming creators, and we're capturing gameplay feedback on the game. Phase 2 is to launch a Kickstarter early next year to get some initial sales, leverage my 250,000 following to get more people involved, and to do influencer unboxings and to run digital ads. Phase 3 is later next year, which would involve going to retail, trying to get the game listed in Target, Walmart, hobbyists, and also to pitch the game as a financial literacy product for classrooms and crypto educations. We're currently working with the University of Illinois right now, where the students are basically studying our game and playing it in class. In terms of our revenue model, we'll be selling the physical game, which costs about $30. Our COGS are $5. In the future, we'll do expansion packs, which will cost $2 to $5 to create, and we can sell for 10 to 20. Of course, global distribution with going direct to consumer or retail. Sponsored decks. Imagine we made an entire deck based around the Lamina1 ecosystem and projects on that. And then our tournament platform fee. So in terms of the tournament platform fee, we have the physical card game, but we also have built a tournament website where people can lock their funds in smart contracts, vote on the winner of the physical game, and smart contracts will send the funds to the winner automatically. This is what the dashboard and UI UX looks like. In terms of financial projections, we're aiming to make $250,000 next year from sales, Kickstarters, and fees. Year 2, we aim to do 1.5 million with collectibles and retail expansion. And year 3, we aim to do 5 million with the board game monetization. We're looking to raise $500,000 at a $7.5 million valuation, which will help us to create these expansion packs and eventually a physical board game. Our roadmap for right now involves prototype development and early testing. Quarter 1 will launch and scale the physical game. Quarter 4 of next year, we'll introduce expansion packs for the holiday season. And then by Q1 of 2027, we'll develop and launch the board game. My name is Oren, we're Market Melee, and thank you.
All right, that's it. So thank you so much, Oren. Jury, you may now start rating Market Melee. Let me know if you have any comments on the presentation, or Yasmina, if you want to say anything, just let me know.
Anyone would like to give some feedback on the Market Melee from your side, guys?
I'd like to give some.
Train back, yes. Yes, we are going in Seoul, right? Are we speaking together?
Going to Zurich for Crypto Valley?
No, I'm going straight to Seoul and then after to Singapore.
Okay, I'm not going to Singapore, so I'll see you in Spain.
Oh, all right. Yes. Okay.
It looks like we have a mixed conversation here.
Yeah, it looks like we have, Sebastian, we could hear you.
So sorry.
I'd like to ask a couple of questions to Oren, since we're there. Thank you for the presentation. I have to say there is nothing like a pitch. We got material from your company before, but that was a really good pitch. And give me some understanding or deep understanding of your company that I have. Just a quick second, Yasmina and Clifford, I just would like to start by saying that we are super excited about that day at Lamina1. We couldn't believe the level of and the quality of the project that were submitted. And we are really looking forward to repeating that type of operation in the future. Oren, you talked about distribution, retail distribution. Can you tell us a little bit more about your plan? Because understanding that the early adopter of your game could be and probably be people who are a little bit more sensitive to the subject, totally understand and agree with you that financial education is really something that is critically missing, and it's not only in the United States, it's everywhere. And you're tackling a real challenge here. So what is your plan to, since it is a physical card game, to go into distribution?
I think we have a couple different strategies. So first, we're working with the University of Illinois, where the students are giving us feedback on the game and testing it. And that's kind of our first case study to kind of pitch it as an educational tool, where we'll eventually go after schools themselves. Second, we're going to do the Kickstarter to just get people involved and to get some of those initial sales and to go ahead and build that initial interest. And then third, we're basically just going to be targeting, Target and Walmart and trying to get this distributed in those stores. I have a couple different ideas to get people excited about it. I'm thinking of, for the initial decks, maybe even putting some crypto in it just to get people excited about the deck and to have, some Ethereum or Bitcoin in the decks and to kind of get this excitement. GameStop had a physical crypto game. It wasn't like ours, but it was a crypto related game and people could get Bitcoin inside of it. So doing a number of different strategies to get people involved, whether it's giveaways inside of the physical decks, whether it's working with educational institutions, getting our initial sales in Kickstarter, then from Kickstarter going to direct to consumer, and then using that as a proof point to then approach retail.
Okay, and when are you planning the Kickstarter?
Honestly, the game is done. Like physically, I have it here with me. The cards are here. I would like to maybe even start the Kickstarter before the end of the year to kind of tie into the holiday season, right? So we could launch it in October, November. We let it run for 2 months, and then, it kind of coincides with the holiday and people getting it for the new year. So it's either going to be in the next month or after the new year, but either one, we're ready to go, honestly.
Okay, and one last question for me. You talked about merging with digital at some point. Can you tell us a little bit more about your plan to branching from?
Right now, we have the tournament website where people can basically place bets online. Right now, we're integrated into Scale, so people can lock funds in a smart contract, vote on the wallet that's the winner, and it automatically sends. In the future, we want to do a companion app. So instead of having to physically, calculate what your balance is, you could enter in the cards that you have, and our companion app could automatically tell you what the balance of your portfolio is. And then eventually turning it into a digital game, right? It could literally solely live online. I think that there's a lot of online Web3 products. And so I think physical is our strength right now, but eventually it could be a digital game and eventually a board game as well. So that's kind of the future evolution of the game that we see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sebastian, you have a couple of
Yeah, I was wondering if I should jump. Yes, like basically, I've been seeing like the world of like board game and card game. Like there's like some traditional routes for marketing, which consists in either working with existing publisher and like doing summer tour or partnership with physical stores where like you have like unveiling of game, meetups, and so on. Like, don't you think it's also an important part of the strategy you should look at instead of just like the digital or Kickstarter or crypto?
Good point. To be honest, we have thought of that, and I have an entire document of all of the game shops in New York City and all of the game publishers that we would approach. So I've already mapped them out. I kind of just blinked, but yeah, that's definitely a natural route. You know, people are at these game shops playing games, doing game nights, doing game tests, and so that's obviously going to be part of our evolution in the new year. And thank you for the reminder, Sebastian.
Oren, I had a question. Why are you thinking going more of the Kickstarter route as opposed to more of a Web3 native kind of alternative fundraising mechanism?
I say, why not both, right? I think Kickstarter, people want to feel like they're a part of something. Kickstarter is really, really popular for tabletop games. So why not try Kickstarter, get some initial sales, get some initial proof of point, and then continue with Web3 as well? I think both can be done.
You think that that'll create kind of a different dynamic between the two audiences, one with more of the financial interests and the others more of just pure backers?
No, I think that there's overlap between collectors, right? That's why people in Web3 collect NFTs, right? And so I think that there's synergies between those two groups. And at the end of the day, they're getting the same game and they're both interested in it for different reasons. Crypto people want to share it with their friends. They want to get their mom and their dad into crypto in a safe, non-investment way. And then other people are just curious. Will this work? What is crypto? This game sounds cool. I've never heard of something like this. And for us, it expands that reach for the two different types of markets that we're trying to hit.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question, basically follow up on the previous one. So since you're going the Kickstart route first, do you then plan actually expanding the same in any way of fundraising a crypto way of sense? So be it, even a traditional, private round or, going to the public or basically just a token distribution. So what are your plans there? Just trying to understand the two angles here.
No problem. Definitely not a token for right now, but definitely Web3 fundraising, right? I think the evolution of this game could be a digital game, and if not a digital version of the game, then a board game. And so I think the funding would be used for that, to expand expansion packs, different action event cards, adding new cryptocurrencies into the deck, doing a physical board game, which is a circle. It's broken up into 4 quadrants, and it's basically the different cycles of the market. You roll, you land, and then, yeah.
Understood.
Kickstarter couldn't fund all that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, fully understood. Thank you.
Perfect.
All right, I think we're good to go. So thank you so much, Oren, for sharing your pitch deck for Market Melee. Yes, Mina. Oh yeah, she already shared the document. So we have 113 live viewers right now watching, tuning in. The Lamina1 ex Blockchain Game Alliance Creator Grants. So welcome to the live stream. I hope you're having fun. We're just starting. We just finished Oren, the founder of Market Melee. Next up, we have. Let's see who's next on the list. We have The Last Monarchy. So let me just invite. Oh, we have to remove one. Let me just remove. Go. So, hey Sandro. For the pitch deck, I think they sent me an updated one. I'll share it in the private chat. So, jury, the panel, can you please check out the updated pitch deck? The one on the Google Drive isn't actually updated. So here you go. Sandro, can you tell us a bit more about your project? You have 5 minutes to pitch.
Hello. Am I presenting from my end or?
Yes.
Great. Just please confirm if you can see this.
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. Well, pleasure to meet you all. Some of you we met in person previously, so hello, how are you doing? The Last Monarchy. I'm Sandro, one of the co-founders of The Last Monarchy. It's a strategy game based on history. We have 3 civilizations in plan for the first release: Mighty Egypt, Great Rome, and Divine China. It's basically a city builder. Build kingdoms, engage in diplomacy, trade, and that kind of a blend between Travian, Age of Empires, Civilization, Clash of Clans, that type of game. Form alliances, compete with each other. There is a mobile version that it's live, can be downloadable on your Android, and then there is another one that is very similar that you can play on your desktop as a browser version. The browser version then later on in the development will be exported in a mobile-friendly browser version, so apps will not be needed anymore. So on any device you will be able to play. It's a classic city builder game mechanic where you have to build your city, train your units, compete to each other, take care of your resources, and so on. As a gameplay feature, we are focused on historical accuracy. There is no fantasy elements in our game that can make us unique in this genre. There is an AI-powered advisor in the game that learns from your moves, and then you can reach out for asking it's my next best move, if you want, of course. Alliance wars and so on, as all strategic games are combined. So a target audience is quite obvious: strategic game enthusiasts and casual mobile gamers. As I've said before, a desktop and mobile version are available for testing at the moment. As a user acquisition, so far we have 47,000 installs through Google Play, and we have targeted as geographies Southeast Asia, MENAP, and Latin America. As a user retention, we have great numbers, and that's all based on a monthly based gameplay. So we are 3 times higher than strategy mobile games and mobile games overall. When you look on a monthly base, this is how far our gameplay has been evolved. So after that, of course, there is at the moment no end game and so on, so it drops. But as a month, we are very strong. As a level of detail, all our structures are 3D models. So it's just we are ready for the future and the expansion of the game. We can use them as an completely open world attack, create a metaverse also, combine easier entering in collaborations with other games out on the market that have an open world and metaverse. So we are ready to launch our Genesis Assets NFT collection that it's basically divided in 3 sections: armory, weapons, jewelry, some land assets, and heroes. How does they look like? For example, some land items that will look like this, that will give you some additional perks on the game, and then our heroes, for example, Cleopatra, that will also give you some additional perks. Gaming assets, it's a huge collection of historical accuracy elements of jewelry, armory, you name it. So it's not only that will give you something additional in the game, you as a player, but also they are a collectible. It's loading. I hope you enjoy this view. It's all been crafted in-house by our designers. So where we are standing now, after all we have tested so far the past 2 years, at the beginning of the year, we have launched a small and unique NFT collection of 600 legacy keys. We have managed to sold them in February this year, and those keys will have an unlocking system later on with the Genesis NFT collection, and the actual Genesis, it's a 10,000 collection that we are ready to sell. After that, we are planning to launch our token and the final version of the game with all those elements inside. This is our core team with in-house strategies of talking about blockchain and game development, with some good advisors from the Web3 space that you all probably know. Our main partners, we are using Sequence as a wallet solution at the moment, and MetaMask for other chains that we have tested. And yeah, we are ready to launch with gamified blockchain that will see us as a fit for their network. That was me from the last monarchy. I am ready for you if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Sandro, for presenting Last Monarchy. Jury, you may now start scoring on the scoreboard, or if you have any questions, just open your mic. Thank you.
I have a question. So, Sandro, thank you for this presentation. You're saying that you are right now in the process of finding the chain that you will integrate for the game?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Where are you in this process? What are your criteria? What are you looking for exactly?
So we have tested multiple chains. Well, I don't want to name it now, just because we are part of the Lamina1 pitching session, and testing like the speed, the community behind, and other things. We are basically looking for a partner that will help us to launch the game. Long story short, to ourselves, with the power that we have, we can build this game and create a great game, but we don't have the power to launch it ourselves. So our community, it is small. It's very difficult to acquire a decent community where you can launch the game. So we definitely need a partner and a push from a third party that will sees us as a perfect fit.
Understand. And then, looking at the very high fidelity of the asset that you're planning to launch, one of the burning questions that the team at Lamina1 had was in respect to your strategy around NFTs. Are you thinking about doing any kind of physical collectible?
Yes, that is down the road. So the expansion version of the game, it's like an open attack with something similar to Total War, if you're familiar with, and also potentially, you never know, that could end in a kind of movie scene and so on. But physical collectibles, definitely, because all of them existed in history, and we can just make them happen again with the connection with our game.
Thank you.
Hey, Sandro. That was awesome. I'm curious to learn a little bit, you're seeing like great kind of engagement and retention numbers already, and that sort of strong feedback loop. How do you see the Web3 economy fitting into maintaining that engagement? Maybe you can talk a little bit about the economic design.
Yeah, so it's on paper looks great. If it's gonna be sustainable, I don't have the answer. I could lie here and say, yeah, it's perfect. It's not. We're gonna test it. So
Yeah, can you talk a little bit more about, how you see, like, for example, the Genesis collection kind of playing into the early gameplay and the longer term audience as they, as you onboard more and more users into the game?
yeah. So on a base layer, it's a free-to-play game. If you want to interact with the assets, you are entering that, call it Web3 version of the game. That you are the monarch and you equip yourself. You have 5 slots where, depending on how many items you have, you can choose from 1 or up to 5, and all of them gives you different percentages on something, on attack, on diplomacy, on defense, and so on. The algorithm is huge, so then you have to connect with other players, because it's a multiplayer game and it's based on alliances, and it's also a season-based game. So you have worlds, call them servers, worlds where you enter. For example, you have a server with 100 players, one with 50 players, one with 1,000 players, 10,000 players, depends on how many player base we will have at the time. And at the moment we are testing on a 6-week season. Then we have shorter ones on a 2-week season. Then we have a 3-week season. Then we have a very fast ones that we're going to introduce basically from next week. We have tested behind closed doors. I'm really curious how that's going to play out. And then based on a leaderboard, you achieve certain points on building development, building levels, and unit kills, and so on. But also on that final version will be whichever alliance first managed to build that monument that will give that alliance, like, okay, they won now, and a rewarding system with a token inside of the game that will be a governance token as a, let's say, closed economy. All those elements that we have in place should be sustainable. I can share with you the draft that we have as a tokenomics, because we could spend now hours talking about it if I go through it. It's kind of detailed.
No, that's great. Thanks for the explanation.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Sandro, for presenting The Last Monarchy, and good luck.
Thank
All
you.
right. Shout out to the 145 viewers right now watching the live stream. So welcome. We also have a bunch of comments. I don't know if we should entertain questions from the comments. Yes, Mina, what do you think?
If they are relevant, we would love to interact with the community, indeed, because that's the point. But we also are very careful on the time. So let's kind of see how we're doing so far in terms of project versus the timing. And at some point, if we have enough time, we can indulge all the questions possible.
All right, gotcha. So we'll just hold off all questions until the end of all presentations.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Understood.
I'm just going to make a reminder, just a quick reminder to the juries to make sure that they have the scorecard and they're putting the scoring there so we can have the live scoring happening. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. All right, next, do we have Solgar Games, Roadster Odyssey? Do we have Solgar Games inside the room? I don't think we have. So moving on, next, we have Diogo Abreu. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, so apologies on that. So you're up next. Can you tell us a bit more about Kudo Games? So good luck on your pitch.
Sure. So you were almost there. So yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Diogo Abreu, the CMO of Kudo, and I'm here to introduce you to the Web3 incubator for indie games. So let's start with the market. So we see that both Web2 and Web3 gaming have been growing fast. But here's the key. Less than 0.1% of gamers are currently in Web3. That's a massive untapped opportunity. But first, we need to fix some of the problems holding Web3 gaming back. The issues are clear. Blockchain is still too hard to learn and use for gamers. Having one token per game is not sustainable enough, and NFTs often lack real utility in the gaming world. Due to all of this, Web3 has developed a negative reputation among gamers. But Kudu is solving this. With Kudu, any game can integrate Web3 features in just 30 minutes. No blockchain knowledge required, and it's free to use. All games share a single token, Kudu, which developers can use to bootstrap their games. Beyond tokens, gaming assets can also move across games, creating true interoperability using NFT technology. On the incubation side, Kudu offers tiered support to indie developers, from concept to a fully fledged game. Developers can progress by hitting milestones or with a monthly subscription. By joining Kudu, they get instant exposure to our community, access to development tools, and visibility with publishers. We're also building the Kudu AI Playground, a ChatGPT-style app where anyone can create a playable prototype by just using prompts. Players and developers can iterate with new prompts to improve their prototypes and then publish them directly to the community. The most popular creations among the community will move into full incubation on the Kudu platform. Kudu is also multi-chain, so the tradable Kudu token runs on Base, ensuring interoperability with other EVM chains and accessibility for crypto natives. The gaming ecosystem, however, runs on Telos, which enables free accounts for our users and virtually no fees for them, which is essential for the really huge on-chain transactions that we have. This dual approach ensures smooth gameplay on Telos while providing trading liquidity on Base. But it also incentivizes users to keep their Kudu tokens within the ecosystem rather than losing value to external fees that decreases as their staking increases. We are already mainnet ready with 19 games already integrated with Kudu today, and we support Unity-based game development. We work on PC, mobile, and even on Telegram. Our revenue model is pretty straightforward. We collect fees from all the transactions within the ecosystem. They can be from developer subscriptions, gift cards purchased with Kudu tokens for Steam, Amazon, etc., or even through the token chain migration that I just explained, and more as you can see on the screen. Besides not launching on mainnet, the same time as the token, Kudu's interoperable gaming assets, IGAs, are already available. Players and developers can mint their own weapons or items using our garage tool and use them across multiple Kudu games that support this. This is already live with Tribes, is a game showing on the right, and it's available on Steam. Other categories besides weapon will follow, for example, cars. Our team is currently 6 people, and it is expected to grow after we launch. Kudu has been funded twice by the European Union, and we are fully compliant with MiCA regulation. In terms of traction, we have over 60K registered users today, and we have around 250 daily active players. And across our top 3 social channels, we have 80K followers. We are currently raising on our seed round with an ask of 150K, and the purpose for this raise it is to increase our marketing budget to do a proper launch, to increase liquidity for the centralized exchanges, and improve infrastructure and scale the team. What we have been already doing in terms of the TG preparation, we have been planning to launch on Uniswap. We have been security audited 3 times already. We are discussing with top tier launchpads, and for the market maker, we have selected Karan Labs as our market maker. Thank you so much. I'm Diogo Abreu, and I look forward to hear your questions.
Thank you, Diogo. Jury, panel, you may now score Kudo games.
I actually have a couple of questions. So first, could you talk a bit more about your community and also the publishing partners you have? Because when a basically a game or a thing gets incubated, what I see is actually that's one of the main values that you can bring to them. So I'm just curious to see how you're performing on that side. And lastly, you mentioned Unity. Are there any plans to integrate other game engines or basically 3JS based games and something more. So just expanding the ecosystem because just tying to Unity, you see engines basically there is a chance for them changing actually popularity and everything. So just curious what you're planning on
Yeah,
that.
sure. So first I'll start the second question. So yes, we are planning to go to other game engines. We start with Unity because our current SDK is so complex, so that developers can simply drag and drop our SDK into their Unity editor, and it works, and they are able to do it in less than 30 minutes because our target are solo developers, smaller teams that don't have the capacity to create big infrastructures. They need to have something quick and easy that they can see that it's improving their game, and they are having more users playing their game. The first question, the way we work with the incubator is not only we already have a community because we have our background that we started with our own games, blocks, tribes that use this platform. So we gather these community that played those games with the incentive. It was a Web3 incentive that by playing these games, they are receiving a token which they can use across all games that are on the platform that use that token. So what we do is by joining with Kudu, these players that have these tokens by playing other games will be able to use on your game, and vice versa, players will be incentivized to play your game, especially if it is a new game, because they're gonna get more tokens if it is a new game for the first 30 days, and they will be able to use those tokens on another game. So basically, we'll see that their game will be playing more than it was before, because there is really good quality games on the indie side that probably couldn't reach the top tier marketplaces or didn't reach the success that they wanted. And they see this as a new way to revamp old games that have true potential, especially on the Web3 audience, and so on.
Thank you. And sorry, one more question. Your AI playground. Just curious, since you're focusing mostly on Unity, how is that working? So do they produce actually Unity-ready games, or are you focusing then there on something else?
No, they are basically on code. The first important, because it's just creating prototypes. So our idea with the A playground, it's enabled for everyone to create the prototype with their own crazy game idea. And if they see that there is traction, there's people that like the idea, and the community is voting on that game to be incubated by Kudo, you will support them with our own Kudo grants for them to develop that game. The way it works with Kudo grants is that we have already a B2B marketplace built in with sound designers, 2D entry artists, and even other game developers, similar to like a Fiverr platform, but within Kudo and paid with Kudo tokens. So we provide those grants so that even a user or a player that doesn't know game development but had an idea of a game that it kind of works on the prototype stage, they can then be incubated with Kudo and have a fully fledged game without, in theory, knowing anything about game development in the first place.
Got it. So it's more like a project market fit testing ground for.
Yeah, just to test. You cannot. Well, you may be able to do it. We have been trying and we have been getting good results, but it still not feel like a completed game the way you want it. So it's just a prototype that you check the audience, see if the idea works, and then you can move on to build a fledged game. But we've seen that we haven't reached a launch this yet. We will be only internal testing, and people are having fun creating interesting games, and the way they respond is quite fun.
Got it. Thank you.
No worries.
I have a question, Diogo. Are you, just to clarify something that you may have said in your presentation, are you focusing on equally developing the platform and yourself publishing and developing games, or you guys have developed a few games there just to, establish a proof of concept and show how, it's going to be easy to use, how interoperability, works on your platform?
Sure. Our focus is to accelerate the conversion of Web2 games and gamers into Web3. So our focus is making Web3 easy for both sides, the gamers and game developers. So we focus on not only creating the SDK, but creating a game that uses that SDK as a case study. And then we go into Gamescom or other gaming events. We show this organically, and they start joining. This was our word of mouth kind of way of promoting Kudo to on-board games. So we do have our own games, but our focus is to make it easier for other good quality games from the Web2 to have a chance to enter Web3 in less than 30 minutes. So we want to lower that barrier the same way we want to lower the barrier for players. So we don't ask for wallets right away. We just want the users, when they enter, to be playing in less than 5 minutes. So they just log in with their username, password, email. Once they are start playing, they see that they are getting these tokens, and then if they want to use them external to the platform, they will need to uh, migrate their account and assume control of their wallets by saving their own keys.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, I think that's it. So thank you so much, Diogo, for sharing with us Kudo Games, and good luck on the whatever it is the judges or the panel would decide on. Okay, I think next up we have, let me just check here on my list. Next up we have, all right, I think we're down for the last one. Last but not the least, we have Alderfall. Let me just check in. There we go. Awesome. So, could you please state your name, your position, and of course, what Alderfall is? And of
Yep.
course, awesome.
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me. Uh, Good to see a lot of familiar faces around here. I'm Leandro. I'm a co-founder of Olderfall. Olderfall is a free-to-play browser and mobile game. If I may share the screen, I took a different approach. I figured that since our game is already live and pretty popular, I'd rather speak while showing the game. I think all of you can read a white paper online, or also can read our deck. But I think it's more interesting if I show the game. So Olderfall is, as I mentioned, a free-to-play Web3 game, and our vision has been, since we released earlier this year, to approach traditional gamers. How we did that is by using sequence for logging with social media, to remove the friction of Web3, which is kind of obvious. That has been quite a trend lately, right? Like to remove those barriers. Luckily for us, we took the approach since moment zero. So basically, a person can log in here with their email. The sequence provide their wallet, and they can just roll into battle. What's Olderfall about? Olderfall is about crafting weapons, collecting gladiators, and sending them to battle. This is literally my personal account, and I have 3 characters, right? So I have one more a wizard, one archer, and one more like a warrior. And after I go to my battles, I craft my resources, I grind my tournaments, I can compete against other players, right? How can we compete? We can compete in different game modes. We can compete in a quick play, which is basically a flash tournament to gain ranking and grind the leaderboard. We can play the deathmatch, that is for leveling up your character. You can play tournaments to gain weapons and FTs and to be stronger and to be able to configure or customize your character in different ways. And all of that has enabled us to keep growing as a product at the end. Why? Because our currently 8,200 players have been super actively providing us with feedback on how to show different results, or how to be more accurate on what the game experience looks like. At the end, you may hear from me that we are talking about a game that actually works, uh, with a battle pass incoming next week, with a ranking that shows the game activity of all players, but with the layer of Web3, that's our main what makes us proud at the end, right? For example, our partnership with Nimos allow us to give away 500 USDT per week, summarizing a total of $9,500 since we started this partnership. So basically, by playing the game, you have the capability of earning money, but you are not playing just for that. We are not building the product just for that. We are building a product that looks good, that has our own artists, our own animators, our own sound designers. And at the end, we try to make this casual, friendly game that you can always have in your second monitor, grinding your arenas, grinding your characters, trading with the community of different weapons, and maybe you got lucky and you got a legendary bow, but want to be more like a caster kind of character. So you go to Sequence Marketplace and you trade there, or you purchase in our shop, or like there is a lot of ways to mix traditional Web 2 game design with Web 3 economy, and that's what we have been doing in the last several months. So I was showing you guys different game modes. I can always send my characters to train to level up a little bit faster, because at the end my role is to be the master of these gladiators, right? The owner, and that's where the Web3 part of this comes into play. I mentioned the battle pass that we're releasing next week. I mentioned that we are live in mobile since last month. You can see here a little bit of an Easter egg of the Forge that we will be launching on late October. The Forge will be a feature that will allow players to customize and craft their own NFTs, meaning that if I have this one, for example, that I don't want, I can burn it, the NFT itself, and with those materials craft a new one or enhance my current ones. So again, as you can see, a lot of Web3-ish features that presented as Web2 are super organic and super easygoing for the players that we are creating. We also have the PvE encounters that are real challenges. I am stuck here, by the way. I cannot go further because it's really challenging to be able to find a way to defeat these enemies, this tower that give us different sorts of resources. And yeah, what's next for Olderfold? To summarize this, we will be launching, again for the last time, the Battle Pass. We will be launching armor sets, which will be crazy nice for players that have been with us for several months. Like currently, you can only have different kind of armors and different kind of fallen character collections. But we are adding also armor sets to them to not only look visually appealing to your tastes, but also to configure your character in different ways. For example, this guard has a little bit of an Easter egg of how an armor may look like. And we are also launching our utility token on November, just before Dead Connect, that we will be assisting in Argentina. If some of you may go to that event, happy to catch up. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what I want to show you and present. A live game that has been growing and growing since the start of the year, assisting to different events, have met up with the BGA members on Dubai, on Token Dubai, on GDC San Francisco. Hopefully we'll see each other on Singapore as well. So this is wonderful, and happy to hear any questions.
Hi, Leandro. I'm going to jump in. I'm a big fan of my Brute from Motion Twin. I think it has been inspired by that. So big up for this. I wanted to know a bit more, because I played my Brute like a couple of years ago, and when you were battling someone, you could steal their weapons. I wanted to know more about that, if you include these mechanics too. And the other question is related to you mentioned like weapon crafting and like NFTs and battle pass. Like how far are you into building this economy related to the weapon?
Yeah, answering your last question first, the battle pass and the crafting is something our development team has been working on for several months. It's a real challenge to be ready in a Web 2 sense and to be strategic on the release, because you know that it may affect Web 3 features, right? So, for example, taking the Forge again as this feature that I mentioned before, to craft your NFT is amazing, but we need to be aware, or we are aware as a team, the implication of that, what that may imply to the game and to the gamers that already have a lot of NFTs or weapons for the time that they have spent over the months. So we are trying to be super careful on how to implement this without messing with their progression, basically. And that's why basically we are being strategic. But the development of Battle Pass is ready and will be launched on September 2022, I think. Yeah, 22. A little bit of spoiler there. And the fourth system is something we are working for a couple months now, and we hope to be released during October, late October. In relation to the first question, yes, we have some initial guidance or I don't know how to call it, but like inspiration from My Root, as you mentioned, is a flash game from the 90s, I think, almost. We used to play it, but we also wanted to have some differentiation from that. So pets is something that we are working on for next year as an in-game feature, but we are trying to figure out a way that makes the game unique, because if not, it's just a replica, and we want to highlight ourselves from what My Brute used to offer. What the biggest similarity is that the NFT that you get, the character that you get, is randomized. So the main stats that you see here, the strength, the agility, and the spirit, are randomized when you get the gladiator, and then all the rest you can basically customize it. You can get a weapon that has more crit or more agility or more strength or more etc. etc. So you actually have this decision making to on the process. On the game that you're referring to, it was entirely random, which is fun, but basically takes away the strategic part of customization of your character. So we wanted to have some kind of differentiation there. Also, you can only select one weapon per round, per battle, let's say. That's also a different approach. And stealing a weapon is not something that we are considering, but we are considering, for example, counterattacks. And as you saw, we have dodge, we have blocks. So we do have some similarities, but we also have our own unique approach on how the battles are resolved. And I think that's part of what gaming is about, right? To take a little bit of what worked in the past, a little bit of what you want to provide for gamers, and also to hear your community, because there has been a lot of adaptation. Believe me, a lot of all this interface has been changed on 9 months, has been changed like 2 times because of, oh, it will be amazing to have this or this. And yeah, at the end, as a game studio, a game development studio that we are, we want to hear the community. So we try to be a mix of, we want to deliver features, but at the same time, we want to adapt some of those features to what the community not is asking for, but is showing you that is the way to go, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, so jury panel, you may now score Olderfall, or if you have any more questions.
Do we have any questions from the audiences, since we are like having more time and the jury are maybe kind of scoring right now? Maybe we can pick up 1 or 2 questions from the jury, from the audiences to the project.
Mm-hmm. So shout out to the 200 live viewers watching right now, the Blockchain Game Alliance x Lamina1 Grand. So welcome. All right, we have a couple of questions actually. I forgot what specific. This one I think it's from. What was the game? Let me just recall real quick. But the question was, are the assets collectible and playable? What this is? Yeah, this is for the Last Monarchy. I remember now. It's for the Last Monarchy. Are the assets both collectible and playable?
Yes, of course, as they are NFTs. It's you to own them, so you can do whatever you want with them. If you're going to use them in the game or just trade them, having them as your own digital art, it's up to you. So yes, and then of course, as we've discussed, we have a plan to craft them in a real life item. So having that NFT will just bring you the option to potentially or get it for free or like stupid discounts or whatever we're gonna decide down the road. But yeah, that's in a nutshell.
Thank you. So there you have it, Mark. Fine later. There you have it for your questions. They are both collectible and playable. We also have a bunch from not just one game, but for all of the projects right here and right now. We have a couple of questions from Jackal Girl. Here's one recent one, just 1 minute ago. They're interested on how these projects specifically plan to Lamina1 and the Lamina1 network. I guess in the case if they won the grant, perhaps. I guess that's the question. In case if you do win via grant, how do you plan to work with Lamina1 and the Lamina1 network?
I can answer that, I think, if you want. Olderfall is a multi-chain project, as I mentioned during the presentation. We have been working over the months with different chains because our vision or idea is that different chains bring to the game different communities at the end. So every single community enhance the experience of playing something that, in a nutshell, is playing like generating this healthy competition, right? So we have some in the past some collections of characters based on each chain. So for example, with Moonbeam, with Polygon, we have created different collection of characters that have their distinct, not only visuals, but also the different backgrounds, the different abilities, etc., etc. Abilities, I mean passive abilities. So just for starting, creating an own collection that represents the community of Lamina1 is something that we will happily do and something we presented during the stage one of the presentation. But more than that, all our game has been created. I think I was clear enough with this, but I will repeat. All our game has been created from a Web 2 perspective, but with a Web 3 scope, meaning that not all of our assets are Web3 yet. For so far, the weapons, the characters, and the boosters are Web3, the enhancers. But all of the assets that are not Web3 yet, meaning like the soft gold, the energy, the experience, etc., are tokenizable, if that makes sense. So at the end, it comes to a situation where our approach to chains are sit down to each other, see what talk to each other and see what they are looking for in order to provide to their community. If they want to provide something that is more storytelling related, is for us super easy because we have a story behind all the four regions, clans, etc., etc., etc. But if they want something more quantity based, is more like a conversation of infrastructure, etc., etc. So at the end, what I'm trying to say is that our game allows different blockchains to absorb different features, if that makes sense, or be owner of certain features within the game without messing with the game experience and with the user experience. And yeah, basically that gives us the flexibility to integrate Lamina1 wherever works for them. Basically.
So there you have it, Jackal Girl. Hopefully that answers your question. So thank you for answering that, Leandro Becca. So our viewership has now spiked at the end of the stream. We are now currently at 245 viewers. So welcome to the stream. The very last minute, but still thank you for tuning in. And now we have another question. This one is aimed at Kudo. Do we have Diogo here? So here's a question. Still from Jackal Girl. I might have missed it, but is there somewhere that we can see the games that people are playing that have been Kudo incubated? Are there any games that have been incubated by Kudo? Maybe you can share on that.
Sure, they are all games that are incubated by Kudo are listed at games.kudo.io. So you can find a list of games there. You click on them, and you'll see the direct links of where the games are available, which marketplaces: Play Store, App Store, Steam, itch.io, etc., even Telegram.
All right. Do we have any more questions? For the 250 viewers, do we have any more questions? We have a comment here, not exactly a question, but a comment. I don't know if that's relevant, Yasmina, if we could share that. But if that's it, I think should we be ready to what do you call this one? Announce the winner for the demo day, or should we take the time and to just wait for the panel to fill in the scores?
I think we're gonna take 2 minutes to recess as we're waiting for the last jury to score. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone for joining live this live event, for all the viewers. And think at some point we're gonna also share all the links to the project so the viewers can go back to them and check what's the project is about and what's working and so on, so they can support every of this project along the way. We're counting on the community, so please go and do it, because that's the spirit of the industry and the Blockchain Game Alliance and the partners. Meanwhile, I would probably say that we're going to be announcing in a few minutes the winner. I think we're going to give Geraldine the honor to announce it with a little bit of drums, right? Since we are still waiting for the last one, which just arrived, which kind of give us a very good score. And I would probably say, let's kind of the community first of all guess, right, who may be the winner. But yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of drums, and Geraldine can then take over to give everybody the scores and announce the winner on that one.
Are we ready?
We cannot hear the drums. We can have them louder if you want, so everybody can listen to it, right? And put a little bit of energy into this excitement. Here we go.
Well, this was a really, really close call, but I believe that the results are in, right, Yasmina? Okay. Without further ado, we are very, very pleased to announce that Alderfall and Leandro are the winner of that very, very first BGA Time Lamina grant. Congratulations on your presentation and your vision and the technical adaptability and energy that you're putting behind that game. We are very pleased to collaborate with you, to help your go-to-market strategy, to welcome you into the Lamina ecosystem, and also, more importantly, for you to become one of the very first space on Lamina, which is the brand new feature that we will launch very soon. Congratulations, Leandro and the team at Alderfall.
Thank you, thank you.
And that doesn't, of course, take any merit from the other team who have presented today. We were very impressed by what you have achieved, presented, your vision. We are really looking forward to have other conversation with you and explore how we can support your development in the future. But thank you very much for participating in that very first edition.
So there you have it, folks. Congratulations to Leandro Becca and, of course, the Alderfall community for winning the Lamina1 X Blockchain Game Alliance Creator Grand. As we will be posting your winnership. We will have a celebratory post shortly after these live. So congratulations. Here is a clap for you. Awesome. With that being said, Yasmina or Sebastian, do you have any parting words for a jury and, of course, the communities that have joined here today?
Go ahead, Seb.
Well, thank you everyone who participated today. Like there was one winner, but I think like everyone who had a chance to present their project, they already put the bar very high in terms of like what they have accomplished so far with the project. We wish them, of course, all the best. Like we want to remain super supportive. So even if you didn't win today, like there's more chance in the future. And at the BGA, our mission is essentially to support anyone who's building within like this blockchain and soon like even new technology expanded ecosystem to showcase what you're doing, to help you navigate the different challenges around like acquiring user, around like growing and being recognized. So hopefully we'll continue supporting you in that journey. And like I'm really personally very impressed by the quality of the game. Like it was definitely much more than just pitch deck assembled quickly with ChatGPT or some like high level ideas. We can see that the team have put a lot of passion and great execution in having great playable games already for the game pitch. And from some of the project, I'm also enjoy seeing that these guys have been and girls, those teams have been persevering, continuing year after year. I remember the pitch 2 years ago at some other previous event. I was part of the jury. I saw the progress as well, and Kudo, for example, definitely can. I see them nodding, so thinking of them. Great to see the progress achieved and like how like everything looks much more seamless and polished now. Great as well. And so I look forward to be the partner of Lamina1 and other ecosystem in general to support the entrepreneur and builder in the space. And thank you to all the jury members as well who gave us their time today to participate, listen to the pitch, and rate the project too.
Awesome. With that being said, so thank you everyone. I think that concludes our stream. So thank you so much for the projects who have been shortlisted, and of course our very beautiful panels here, the jury as well. So thank you so much for being part of the stream. With that being said, until next time, we'll see you on the next stream. Thank you everyone.
See you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Bye.